Okay, I'm in for the career reading for Sagittarians for the 2021 winter season here down in Canada. So I'm going to get right into it. Got a lot of readings to get through. I want to mention too, whenever you get one of these readings, to go through the career, and because I've got a set of 3 here for the winter: spirituality, career, and love. And it's all mixed up. Like there's love and career and spirituality and whatever. So check them all out just in case. They'll give you a comprehensive view here. So I do a pyramid spread. So I'm going to work my way down here into the cards that I chose, or we chose, me and the energies. First card I got for Sag: 12, the songbirds. These birds are yappers. They gossip and they can tell untruths. So we may have this going on. We may be a part of this, or this may be in our sphere somehow. That there may be some chatter going on here. Loose chatter is really the sense that I get. So it's stuff that's going on. We may have to watch because it may not be factual, these things that are coming at us, or that we're spouting out. Be careful that we're not spouting out half-truths here. Next card we get is the 2 of Pentacles. This card, this woman's baking and she's getting all her ingredients and checking her list, right? Making sure that everything's in there and she's stirring it up in the right constitution? No, in the right consistency? Contents, whatever. It's all in there. Give me a minute here. I'm saying that way too much here. Yeah, there may be things here in our work. Yeah. We may be hearing things at work about, and the Sag just likes to be prepared. And they may be running off this rumor mill and using that to prepare things at work. Be careful with that because we might be preparing in the wrong direction. Again, we may have untruths coming out around us. It's better to go to the horse's mouth. If we're getting something secondhand, it may be losing its power here. So don't take another person's word. Go straight to the source if you can for the information. I'm getting that somebody's preparing off what has been said, gossiped about. And if we do that, we could get hooked up here on something that's going to, I don't think it's disastrous, but it's going to create havoc a little bit here and leave us unprepared where we felt like we were prepared is what I'm getting. Next card is the aspen tree, talking about courage and steadfastness. Yeah, and that's like ability to speak out when we need to the most. And I feel like that may be to these people. We may have, this card gives me an ability here, or gives the Sagittarius an ability to kind of see through things. Like we kind of know that's BS, but we don't say anything. But yet we're going to prepare for stuff. So there's kind of like an instinct going off here. And I feel like this is coming off saying, we better start talking to these sources to find fact check, really, is what I'm getting. Start fact checking because they'll create a little bit of static in your field if you don't. And these people that they're telling me, they're known for kind of stirring up stuff, not to a high degree, but we're suspicious of them already. So let's make this, nip it in the bud type thing, get underneath it and fix it right off the bat. Because there's somebody coming here and saying, oh, you better do this, that, and the other. And then the Sag is going, yeah, I better do this, that, and the other, taking their word, but they're not the authority. They're secondhand is what I'm getting. Like they're a second source. So we need to go to the first source and go like, okay, is this the way it is? And they're going, well, actually, no, it's this way. Oh, okay. And then make amends here with whatever is said by the first source. Because there's somebody here I think they're just being loose-lipped. They kind of using it as a power play. They're going, hey, I heard this, that, and the other. Meanwhile, it's one, it's disinformation, and two, they're kind of trying to strut their stuff a little bit, like I heard and you didn't, kind of immature stuff. This happens at work, I guess. So it's a matter of chain of command here. You got to go up the chain of command to the commander and fact check. And again, speak up, because we may have issues with these people in the past, and they're trying to create more and see how much they can get away with. So a little bit of fiasco there. Next card. Again, this is head of the pyramid, so this is going to flood the whole reading. Triumphant success. Yeah, if we do this, if we speak up and talk to the commander here, the sense is we'll get the truth. And not only that, we can speak the truth from here down. It's not like we took their word for it and now we're going downward telling everybody in our spheres that this is the truth when it's actually not, right? People running away with things. I think these people here are really trying to see if they can do that. They're trying to see if they can get away with being the authority when they're actually not the authority. Power tripping, really. It's a form of power tripping. So there's a sense of needing to go to the head here to get the facts, Jack, and make sure we speak our truth as we go outward. Because the sense here is we're really going to turn our back on these people from now on, because we realize they're kind of troublemakers, and we're going to deal with the source from now on. Make sure that we're prepared, and that's part of it, is eliminating these people so that we deal one-on-one with the facts, right? Ooh, so a little bit of politicking there. Nice. Hopefully that helps you get out of a predicament. Next card we have is 30, the lilies. This card is about purity, spirituality, can be about intuition, also can denote sexuality. This is a career reading, so I'll leave the sex out of it. Next card, we have the 8 of Swords. Yeah, we're beat. You know, we're exhausted. We've been doing a lot to keep up with things at work. So, you know, the hecticness and whatever, it'd be very easy to overlook something and just take one person's word for it, because it takes a lot of time and effort to make an appointment, get these things set up to fact check. But they're going, if we do it properly, you know, things will go properly. Yeah, the 8 is just really being exhausted with all that we're doing in the work area here. It's like the angels are trying to get you to rest, and then they're trying to do the work here, right? Because they're trying to organize the books and get them all ready to go when she wakes up, but they're putting her to sleep. Getting her to sleep in order to just right out of it. And then the angels are working to, I mean, this is spell and stuff, but when you put it into work, it's like papers organizing. Your mind's going 100% of the time about work. So we want to get some rest here so that we can open it up to other fields and self-care and whatnot. Next card, we have the Elder Tree, talking about consequences and regret. So it brings me back to that scenario we had in the beginning here. We may have some people following a chain of command here that's not correct. People trying to, how do you say, power trip, and they're winning because they're getting followers inadvertently. These people are just, you know, passing word here. So we may have taken someone's word for something here that wasn't so pure, wasn't so, you know, like there's either manipulation or, to me, I feel it's power tripping. Like who's the best, who's on top, who's, you know, this kind of thing. Dog eat dog stuff. And sometimes when you get in a workforce, energetically, that's just in the air. So some people that normally wouldn't do this in other areas, they do it in work fields because it's kind of sitting there in the air. And that's the sense I'm getting, is these people are getting a feed off of what they're doing here. So they're doing it more often, not realizing consequences. They're just thinking selfishly about their own way forward. So this is what I'm getting highly is going on here. Somebody here. So there's going to be regrets on both sides here. So it may be a little heavier than I initially gave credit here for. But no matter. There's somebody here that's going to like, because here it's like, okay, like this woman, she's making someone accountable. And this one doesn't want to hear it, is really what I'm getting. We're beat and tired, and somebody is seeing this like, oh, they can overlook. They don't have time to fact check. They don't have time to go behind my back and figure out if it's right or wrong. They have to take my word for it. So they're kind of pre-planning this whole stage. So we get in there, okay, we're overworked. We get stuff done to get it done. But after the fact, we find out what happened, and the Sag is making, either the Sag is making that person accountable, or, you know, this is reversed. Something they want me to see here is that there's two people there, or like three people. It's like a woman and children. Oh, okay. Acting like children is what they said. So, well, this happens too, right? People acting like kids, you know, like, and that same thing is immaturity at the workplace. So there's a sense here is going to have to get their penance for this. So I feel like it gets discovered and everything gets, but it's still, there's a regret there. We should have known better, but we were rushed, and this was why we overlooked something. We didn't have time. We had to hit either a deadline, or things had to go through at a certain time here. Didn't have time, weren't thorough enough. We didn't keep it pure, cut corners, and it cost us, is really what's happening. Next card is heartache and loss. So that's heavy. That makes it a lot heavier here. We may have someone here either lose their job or hinging on a job, right? The heartache and loss I'm getting is actually from someone like, this is a friend, like this should be a friend at work, and you shouldn't have done me this way, this kind of thing. This is what I'm getting, because the heartache is, it's actually, it's not all business with this Sag. And, you know, I thought I could trust you. I thought you could, you know, like disappointed, heartbroken that now, you know, this person is basically on the shit list. Sorry, it's a little early for the swearing, but they're on the dark list here, and they didn't want them to be. They wanted them to be, you know, an integral part of the team there, team playing, that kind of thing. And there's no purity here. I just didn't suspect it. In some kind of ways, like we kind of knew, I'm getting a sense from the first cards, we kind of knew these people can be shady. We just didn't know they could be that shady, that they're kind of, you know, we may be having someone here cutting for a job, meaning cutting somebody out, trying to trip them up so they lose their job, this kind of thing. So it might be a little more serious than I thought there. Energy's flipping. Okay, next row, not a good situation. 3, the ship. That talks about travel. So you can, you may have travel in your field here. You may travel for work. You may be traveling out of a job. You may be moving jobs. You may have been the sacrifice that needed to be made here, or whatever. There, because the ship is about movement and travel. And the sense they're giving me is that somebody's traveling out of this job, really. The next card is Ace of Swords. Yeah, and that is about truths that can hurt here. And again, I do get a great sorrow from the Sag that is someone they considered a friend has either stabbed them in the back or put them in a position where they see manipulation or some kind of a sneaky tactic here they just weren't prepared for. Yeah, underhanded is what they said. The next card we get is transition and partnership. And the word that's sticking out here is transition. Time to move on. Time to move on from this. We may have had, you know, a business partnership, and it was a partner that did us dirty. And now, you know, it's really at a point where we can't make amends here. This person did it intentionally to get rid of us. And we just, you know, it's like, why couldn't they come talk to me? Why couldn't, this is what I'm getting. Like, we couldn't discuss this. You had to do this underhanded. There's no purity here, no respect, no discussion. It was just very shady the way this person did it. So the partnership here, I feel, is unraveling. We found out a truth here, and we may be moving on from this. Next card is fertility, and that's about new beginnings. Now, this, you know, could very well go in the romance area as well when we're talking about partnerships and whatnot. Just flip it for a coworker. But nonetheless, there's a truth that came out here that is preparing us to go in a new beginning. So that means a final ending and movement to go there swiftly. Really, the Sag's not going to sit and break bread with you. They're just going to move forward and burn that bridge behind them type thing. This is what I feel is happening. They're looking forward to, not looking forward. Again, there's a sadness here that's looming. It's there. And a lesson learned, I guess, hey? Because we just didn't think that it was kind of like a partnership within a business, that they would do that to us. We thought that they were our friend as well as a coworker, and we lost everything there, is really what I'm getting. But there's new beginnings opening, or we're going to make new beginnings in that way. Okay, next card, 24, talking about love. That's the love card for the Lenormand. Maybe going in the love zone here. Next, the Six of Wands, talking about climbing to the top, making your way up. When I'm talking about business here, we're talking about that dog-eat-dog world and trying to get your way up to the top of the ladder here. And I feel like, you know, in this situation, somebody, and this is the way the world works, somebody was standing up here and kicking rocks at us. Basically, this is the scenario of what happened here. Now, we got down a few notches, but we're going to go to another mountain and climb that mountain. Because this person here, their whole mountain may crumble, and we may end up being on the top of that rung on the other side. Look at them go. Well, kind of karmic. You know, this kind of thing. I feel like the Sag has the ability to really rise above if they don't waste a lot of energy here. You deal with the sadness and the depression of it. You feel that out and you move on. You really have the ability to rise above. These people that are in places of authority, they usually do get found out some way or another. And that comes in the end. You know, you may not see it soon enough, but it will come. And this is the sense I'm getting. We're just going to keep striving to go forward, and that's the best that we can do. Next card. Man, these cards, they just keep repeating. But anyway, adversity and sacrifice. We had to make a sacrifice. It may be us that was sacrificed. This guy's arm has got a cut, and he's like, oh, I don't have time. I want to keep going. I'll just cover it up and keep going. So he's got to watch that it don't get infected. And what I feel here is the emotional center. Make sure we deal with those emotions of bitterness here now before we get into our new area, or we could topple if we don't. And that may be something the Sag just doesn't translate well. So be careful that we don't go outward in bitterness and resentment and revenge against those people, because that's what it'll build into eventually if we don't deal with it. But if we purge it out and feel the emotions and whatnot, then we can kind of cleanse and move forward cleanly, and you know, our arm won't get infected. Then we can move forward quite quickly, and things will come around right where it's supposed to be. Next card, foundation and achievements. Yeah, to create a new foundation and achieve better things on the other end. It's about healing, really, this whole line. Starts out with love, and I feel like the heart center is really what they're trying to trigger here. Is somebody may, because of this being in the career sector, may shut down our, you know, I'm no longer going to be friends with anybody. I've had enough of this, and being bitter. And that's not going to get us anywhere in the future either. So we want to make sure that we still have an open heart. And in order to do that, we got to heal. And then that will create a better foundation for the future. And make it easier for us to have to accomplish things, you know, as we go forward. When we climb that hill, it just be easier. It's like we got more stamina for everything when our heart's open. But again, we got to deal with the heartbreak of it. I think this was highly personal stab at us from work area. This is what I get. Now the fate here of the whole situation. We have the star 16, which is about hope, dreams that we want to fulfill, hope for the future. It can be about healing as well. Following your North Star, like keeping going forward is what they're giving me here quite highly. Keeping things moving. Focus on your future. Don't get caught up too much in the past other than to heal and move forward. Next card is the Hangman, 12. So we may have some time here. I'm going to leave the star out. We may have some time here to deal with, oh, I'm using the wrong light. Give me a sec here. Yeah, because the Hangman is about taking time out to kind of peace out. We may have time here, right? Either we got sacked or the other person got sacked. So there's a little bit of a haze here, and it may just be the Christmas season, right? We've taken vacation time. So nothing's really going to have any effect on us in that kind of way. We have some time to heal. We have some time to think it over. We have some time to get over it. So I feel like that would be smart if we did that, use this time for that instead of avoiding it in any kind of way, because that would come to backfire on us. Next card is the Gorse, passion and strength. Yeah, passion and strength, right? That's full potential. You want to have your passion, you want to go forward in it, and you have the strength to prosper. This is what's going on here. Building back our strength. I feel like this time over Christmas, we are going to have a bit of a break here from work period. It's going to be very reviving alone, because I get this sense, which card was it? Sense from this card is that we really are taking, oh, not that one, sorry. We really are taking too much on at work. Where the hell is it? This one. You know, we're taking too much on at work. We're trying to impress people, but it's not for our highest good. Meaning, you know, it's too much for us to take. And if we take it on, then people are going to expect us to, this kind of thing. So the break is going to be very relieving on its own, never mind the healing of the heart. But we're going to regain our passion and go forward. Wisdom. And it'll give us time to let some things sink in, right? Give us time to think about things spiritually. Think about how this all went down from the bigger picture, that kind of thing. There's two very spiritual cards on either end of this, taking a time out and regaining our passion, you know, so that we can get into a compassionate zone. I don't see the Sagittarius going there willingly. Their mode, they are going to trailblaze in the way they think, not necessarily what's spiritually good for them, but they'll eventually get to a place that is better than where they were, is really the case here. And they'll just move forward from that. So that's the fate, is really gaining wisdom and our strength and compassion, or I say compassion, but gaining wisdom and our passion to build strength back up in this area. I'm used to pushing compassion outward here. Next card is 18, is the dog. That talks to friendship and loyalties, right? Here is very tested. It tested our loyalties. There was no loyalty here by this person. It's very disappointing. We thought we could trust them, count on them. We can't. So we have to reboot. We have to reassess, figure out what happened there so we don't make that mistake in the future. Next card we have is 17, the stars. And this is about children playing like a child plays, innocent and whatnot, naive. They just go out and they have fun. They don't let anything get them down. They don't have paperwork to do at the end of the day. They're not stressed about numbers. They're not. this kind of thing. So I'm getting that. It's just to be freed up. And again, there's a dog in this one as well. And the kind of things like they're giving me is like there's more fish in the sea. There's more puppies out there. There's more puppies, and they are happy to see you and happy to be around you. So we just got to go visit the puppies and figure out which one's going to do us good, and make sure that we assess what mistakes we made and feel it out and know the errors that we made so that we don't make them in the future. More puppies, and it's all happy, right? Happy-go-lucky stuff. Next card. Protection and defense. Yeah, see, this kind of carries connotation of, protection and defense is trying to protect ourselves in the future, to fend off anyone that comes in our path that's going to pull one of these again, right? We're not going to let that happen. We may have to be more aware of that than we figure, because there's a sense they're giving me is that we do let people in at work a little, like kind of no boundaries there. And they're going, oh, there's going to be boundaries now, but we don't want the boundaries 12 foot high. We want to be able to see that person and communicate, and then slowly lower it as they deserve, kind of thing. So there might be a lesson here about boundaries that we're going to have to, that maybe in our future here, learning which puppies to let through the gate and which ones to keep out. You know, they nibble on my fingers. They don't want that or whatever, right? Or they got bad habits. I'm not going to allow that. So to see that more clearly and more vivid. Yeah. And the next card is transformation, because there's a transformation happening here for us in the career sector. And because of that, it is having to do with our boundaries of who we let into our friend circle, co-worker circle, and how easily. I think the problem here is, like usual, I mean, people learn this all the time, is those that are a fake, you know, that are not genuine. We kind of presume everyone's genuine when they're truly not. And after a while, like your first instinct, you know, we can't really disregard that anymore, because there's a lot of people look back and they go, yeah, I had an instinct right away, but I just let them plow right over it. And then we always end up regretting that. So it may be something like that. Like we have an instinct, but we, for the highest, we're thinking the best of people to our detriment. And that's what happens here. Again, that is the reading for Sag Holy. Your fortune card for the winter. Flowers. Be generous. Success and emotional fulfillment are yours. I feel like, you know, this was kind of a lesson in, how do you say, you know, trust with people, and also having to do with the fact, I'm looking for that flower card we had. You know, kind of like stop and smell the flowers kind of thing is what I'm getting. Because when things are going too fast, too rapidly, and I mean, these Sag are fire, they like to get things done at rapid fire, but it's to part of that lesson maybe to slow down a little bit and enjoy the view, like stop and smell the flowers a little bit. Because if we did that through this scenario, what they're giving me is that we might have, they're going, I don't think we would have avoided it, because there's a lesson we needed to learn, but we would have seen more clearly things popping out to us. More signs would have been thrown in our face if we took time to smell the roses, kind of thing. So hopefully that helps you over the winter season. Work, dog stuff, man. It's not nice when you come across stuff like that. It's no matter, you know, you have a coworker or a friend, it just period. Not nice when someone kind of stabs you in the back. But nonetheless, that is the reading for Sag for career. I'm going to continue through the day here, spitting them out until I'm done. I'm going to continue with spirituality and love next, and then we're going to get into the earth signs after. So take care, have fun, be kind. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.